Hey, and welcome back to my YouTube channel where I'm here to walk you through transparently, vulnerably, and share with you my progress on my monthly goal as well as how well I'm doing with my self discipline venture to improve my skills of being self disciplined. That will in turn benefit me in the long run. Look at my shirt. It actually says, I love this shirt. I've had it for years. It says, "No weapons formed against me shall prosper." And then on the back side, I don't know if I can turn around, it says, God's got my back. There was a group that came to a church that I was attending some years ago, and they were selling these scriptural based t-shirts, and I thought this was a cool shirt. Yeah, I put it on to this morning. So it's May the 11th. It's weigh-in day, and I am going to share with you guys where I'm at on my weight, because I have one particular goal this May that is directly related to how much I'm planning on losing this month. And so far, from May the 4th video, my first weigh-in video on May the 4th, I was on track. I was actually doing way more than what I projected myself to do. So I'm going to first share with you regarding that. My last video was about budgeting, and I was preparing for going out of town for Mother's Day weekend, and I shared with you guys my budget for that weekend. I actually wrote down on pieces of paper or sticky notes um Friday leading into the weekend, like prior to actually leaving out, to kind of plan in my mind what are some of the expenses that I might wind up having to pay while I'm away. Because generally speaking, I've noticed that whenever I travel or like unplanned things like that, even though it was planned, sometimes the spending that goes along with it can be unplanned. So I just want to be better disciplined about it by just being proactive and thinking it through. Okay, what are the different expenses? So I'm going to share with you guys at the end of the video how did I do on that budget that I set for myself. So that's pretty much it for what this video will be about today. So I'm going to go over my monthly goals, how I'm progressing, stop and kind of pause about my weight goal and kind of give you an update of that. And then I'll continue through the rest of my goals. And at the end, I'll let you guys know how I did as far as my budget for Mother's Day weekend. So let's jump into what my May 2025 goals are. So I have a total of 6 goals. The first one is to earn at least $2,000 from my supplementary income. Goal 2 is to pay off a Chase credit card. My balance at the beginning of this month was $1,384.42. My goal number 3 is to lose at least 10 pounds. My starting weight was 239 pounds. So by the end of this month, I'm planning on being at the most 229 pounds. Goal number 4 is to start a sequel course on Microsoft to advance my programming skills. Goal number 5 is to read, study, meditate on discipline. And then goal number 6 is to implement discipline in all areas of my life. So let's jump right into it. Let's start off with goal number 1. Earn at least $2,000. So this is Sunday, May the 11th. And so far, for the first week, I earned a total of $370.61, which gave me the remaining balance to earn $1,629 before the end of this month so that I can meet that $2,000 goal. Last week, I wasn't able to do much on Sunday, Monday, but I did earn some money Tuesday through Saturday, actually. Even though I was leaving out of town on Saturday for Mother's Day, I actually squeezed in some time to earn those $51. So that brought my total last week to $369, which now I need to earn $1,260.31. So today is Sunday, and I'm actually traveling, and then I'll be making it in back home later on this evening. So because of I know how I am when I actually have to travel, and giving myself that wind down time that I need from traveling and turning right back around. I traveled a distance of so on Saturday I traveled from where I stayed to my hometown, which is almost 4 hours. Then when I got there, I kind of took a little rest because that's the day that I actually planned out my mom's massage, which was later that evening at 3 o'clock, which was an hour away. So I had to drive an hour away. Went there, went out to eat, um, went back to my mom's house, went out, well, actually went to the cemetery and things like that. I have a sister who passed away in 2021. And my niece and nephew, they wanted to go out to the grave. So we went there. Then after that, we went home. Then we went to the store. They had to go grocery shopping, took them grocery shopping, and then went back. So that's a lot of traveling and so forth. And then on Sunday, early, I'm planning on leaving early in the morning, 6 o'clock ish, and coming back home, which is about 4 hour drive. So that's a lot of driving. If I would total up the driving, 4 hours to get there is 4 hours, an hour, 2 hours just to go back and forth, back to the massage place and then back home. So that's 6 hours. Then I won't even count the traveling around town because that's not really much hour or minutes. It's just a few miles here and there. And then having to drive back. So that's 10 hours pretty much that I've been traveling. And so on Sunday, I'm just planning on give myself a break. And then my plan is to pick back up tomorrow, Monday through Saturday. And again, on this Saturday, I have another event, a wedding. And so I know maybe on that morning I'm able to do something because it's a late in the afternoon wedding. So I might should be able to do something in the morning. And then Sunday probably wouldn't be able because I'll be coming back in, and then Monday, and then I'll pick back up on Tuesday. So just to kind of give myself a game plan in my mind on what I'm going to be able to do. Let's see, 1260 divided by 3. I need to earn $420. And I did speak about my Saturday. So this upcoming Saturday is going to be the last Saturday this month where I won't be able to dedicate my full time towards earning money. Because generally, as you can see, Saturday from that first week is normally the most money that I make. I can easily make $200 just on that Saturday alone. So let's just say, I'm just going to be hypothetical just to see. Let's just say on the 24th and the 31st, I'm able to make a total of $200 alone. So that's a total of $400. So 1260 minus $400. That means for the remaining days, I need to earn at least $860 if I were to was able to earn $200 on these 2 days. I subtracted 1260 minus $400, and then I'm gonna now take this difference, which is 860, and divide it by the number of days that I say that I'm able to. So I'm actually able to work on Tuesday the 13th. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Not gonna count this Saturday. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So divide it by 12. Okay, so that's reasonable because normally on Friday I'm able to at least make 100. As you can see there, I've made at least 100. So I'm pretty in a good shape because assuming that I'm able to make $200 on just these 2 Saturdays, and then the remaining balance of 860 for the 12 days that I'm able to earn money, I would only have to earn $72 each day. And as you can see on average, I've done just that, if not more. There's been some days that's been below $72, but $72 is not too far-fetched from where those values are. And then also considering that I'm not including Friday as a day where I'm actually able to make more than $72. So I'm still in a good place, I would say, on this particular goal. Goal number 2, pay off Chase credit card. There's a balance of $13.84. I actually made my first payment on this of $462 on yesterday, or actually it was last week. It wasn't necessarily yesterday because I actually made it before I had to do my travels. I had to kind of rebudget again just to see where I was before I actually make that payment, just so I can know after everything is done, especially the weekend costs, that I'm not putting myself in a bad situation budget wise. So I actually have $922.42 remaining on this card to pay off. And I'm planning to make another payment on the 17th, which is this Saturday. And I might do the same thing, rebudget. I won't be getting paid this week, but with my supplementary um, funds and stuff like that, I should be able to make that payment, if not more. So my goal this week is going to be to really, when I get the time to look at my budget and seeing where I'm at as far as the money that I have to put towards this, I'm going to really be trying to see if I can just go ahead and pay that whole $922. If I'm in a position to pay that whole $922, I'm just going to go ahead and pay that whole $922 um, off, and then don't have to worry about making that last payment. I've already had it paid off in less amount of time. So I would say in order for me to do that, I would have to really push myself with earning some money from my supplementary income here. So I'm going to track that from just doing a little quick budgeting. And then I would even say, yes, I would need like, it might not happen as far as paying that off. But I'll just stick to my $462. And then the following week when I get paid, I'm sure I would have enough to be able to handle this remaining balance. So make progress on that goal. All right, today is the weigh-in day. That's what I'm here for, to talk about where I'm at on this goal. So let me just go through again how I've progressed thus far on losing at least 10 pounds. So I started out on April the 27th when I first made my first video on self-discipline and uploaded to YouTube. I weighed myself just to see where my starting weight was, and I was at 239 pounds, which that's where I set my goal to lose 10 pounds for the month of May. And so on May the 1st, the first day of this month, I wanted to go back and just say how much I actually weighed at this particular point in time so I can get a good beginning ending weight for this month. So May the 1st, I actually weighed 237. So I actually started my whole plan and implemented my whole plan for how I'm going to lose 10 pounds starting on April 27th. I've limited what I'm pretty much doing right now is a combination of all the different diet strategies that I shared with you guys on a previous video. If you would like to know what those diet strategies are, you can just go back to that video that's titled Diet Strategies. It's one of the previous videos where I shared with you guys over the course of years, way back from the time when I was in high school, college, and weight fluctuating, what diets I actually implemented and how I actually lost the weight, and then how it came about to where I'm gaining the weight back because of self-discipline, because of not having that self-discipline to maintain the progress that I've made and lend itself to. So kind of combining all of those things that I've learned, that's what I'm pretty much doing. So I'm focusing more so on a low diet, low calorie, low carb, high protein diet. And it's kind of putting all the different diet strategies together for me. So because I weighed 237 pounds on May the 1st, that means I only needed 8 more pounds to lose for this whole month. And then on May the 4th, I did better than what I projected. I actually went down to 235 pounds and 2/10 of a pound. And my projected weight was 235 and 4 pounds. So that means I had to lose 6.2 pounds for the remaining part of this month. So now today is weigh-in day for May the 11th today, and I'm projected to be at 233 pounds and 8/10 of a pound. So I'm interested to know, and again, I did a video to kind of share and live in real time, me stepping on the scale and also my body composition. So let's just see, do you think that I met this goal? Do you think that I'm actually at 233 pounds and 8/10 of a pound? Or did I get lower than that? Or did my weight go up? because it could happen. Even with me going around the way that I'm doing it, it could happen where one week it would not fall off as quickly. So I'm going to pause here and I'm going to share that video um, of how I did so that you can see in person how I actually weighed on today. Today is weigh-in day again, so I'm about to show you guys how much I weigh. I have my weight down, my scale down here on the floor in the hallway. And I'm about to step on the scale, so let's just see what it says for today. Okay, sometimes I have to recalibrate it. It kind of works, so I just want to make sure that that weight is accurate. So let's just see. Get it at 0, and I'm going to step on it again. Okay. Let me just let it get back to 0. And maybe it's not going to get back to 0. Let me step on it again and see which one actually shows. Okay. So I'm down to 133.8, and I want to step on it one more time just to make sure. Because sometimes I've noticed that this scale kind of does what it did just a moment ago. So let me step on it one more time just to make sure that it is accurate. Yep, seems like that's accurate. 233.8. I'm excited. That's actually down below what I was the previous week. So I am elated. Yay. Congratulations to me. So I am so excited to announce that I am right on the mark with my May 2025 goal number 3, to lose at least 10 pounds. Because as you can see on this chart, on May the 11th, which is today, I should weigh 233 and 8/10 of a pound. And on the previous video where I actually shared with you guys me stepping on the scale this morning to share with you what my weight progress is, I actually weighed at 233 and 8/10 of a pound. I know there was a little glitch with my scale, but you know, the scales have to be on a certain type of floor, which I've noticed for that particular scale that I have to make sure that it consistently shows the right number. Sometimes that first number could be off. And so what I was doing is stepping back on it just to make sure that the weight was set and it didn't change. And so that way I can guarantee that it's giving me the correct weight. So I am elated and so happy and proud of myself, because now that only leaves me with 5 2/10 of a pound to actually lose for the remaining 3 weeks in this month. And I don't have my calculator next to me, but that's going to give me probably like 1 and something decimal of pounds that I need to lose each week going forth. And I'm even more proud of myself because I was still able to lose, even having going out of town, going out to eat on Mother's Day weekend. And generally, sometimes that becomes a hiccup for me, especially when I'm away from home and I might need to order different things that I wouldn't per se do if I was home. I would actually make something. So when I went out to eat for Mother's Day, we went to an all-you-can-eat buffet, and that's within itself already tempting because there's so many selections there. And generally speaking, when you go to those all-you-can-eat buffet, you really are going there to eat all you can eat, which is not good, and it kind of counteracts my health goal. But I came in with the mind frame just like I've been doing at home, where I'm only eating vegetables, fruits, and protein. So if it wasn't any one of those things, then it did not go on my plate. So if I can remember, I actually had a salad. I put salad on there with cheese and like with some bacon bits, with also some cranberries, I think it was, or raisins, dried fruit. And then on my other plate, I had broccoli, corn, collard greens. I had some fried shrimp, fried chicken, no pasta, no bread. just strictly meat and vegetable and fruit. And then I also had some peaches as well on the side, no dessert whatsoever. And so I'm just so proud of myself because that would have been a struggle for me in the past. And it shows right here when I'm weighing myself that it was worth the test. It was worth it to make those right decisions. And so going forth, I'll continue to make those right decisions because, to be honest, the plate of food that I did have, it was still delicious. I still enjoyed it. And I didn't have to do anything that would get me off my goal that I have set here. So I'm just proud of myself for maintaining discipline enough to not deter myself from that goal. Goal number 4, start SQL course on Microsoft to advance skill. This is one that I'm going to have to put into my schedule. And actually on the previous video, I came up with the idea that towards the end of every workday at my job, I would allocate 30 minutes each day towards the end of my workday to actually focus on this. And that's probably going to help me finish because by the end of this week, I should be all the way down to module 4, and I'm still on module 1. Even though my goal says to just start the SQL course on Microsoft by the end of this month, just to start, which I've met that goal, I still want to make progress on it because this will be something that I will want to finish. It's just set up this way to where I'm actually just prepping myself to get started for it. So I do need some help with that. So I'm going to regroup and find out a way that will help me progress a little bit more on that goal. Goal number 5, read, study, and meditate on discipline for week 1. I pulled this statement from the Power of Self-Discipline book that I have linked below. And it says, with self-discipline, the average person can rise further than intelligence and talent alone will take them, and the ordinary person can become extraordinary. On the other hand, an educated, talented person without self-discipline will rarely rise above mediocrity. So I love reading that statement because it reminds me how important it is to have self-discipline. You can be the most brightest or sharpest pencil in the toolbox, but without self-discipline, you're not going to reach your full potential. So without self-discipline, I will not reach my full potential. And I don't want to be this talented, educated person and then it's kind of being wasted because I don't have self-discipline to be able to apply the skills that I have or to even know to improve the skills that I have. So it just is a reminder to me that I can go back to this statement and read it and just remind myself the importance of self-discipline and how far self-discipline can take you even when you don't know it all. Just having self discipline can take you so much further than having the talent and the skill. And then this last week, I pulled this statement from just going through some articles online, even though the book also does talk about this. But this statement came from online. And I think I have it linked below where you can go into more detail in reading it. But it says behavior, routine, and habit are interconnected tools that significantly contribute to developing self discipline. Oh, sorry. Let me stop sharing here. And habit are interconnected tools that significantly contribute to developing self discipline. By understanding how to cultivate these elements, individuals can build stronger willpower and achieve their goals more effectively. And so, what geared me to study this more is just the simple fact of realizing that I have to take good behaviors and take those behaviors and make them into a routine, a good routine that will help me be able to maintain my self discipline on the goals that I'm set out to accomplish. Because that has been my downfall. If I were to reflect in the past on why it is that I'm still trying to lose the weight that I've already lost, and so it's because I didn't maintain my self-discipline. So why didn't I maintain my self-discipline? I didn't maintain my routines, my habits that contributed to having self-discipline when it came to going to the gym and waking up in the morning and making nutritional choices, healthier choices, and so forth. And so it derailed me off from my path. So this time around, I feel it very important to study and learn more about these 3 things to better help me in the future with maintaining my self-discipline. So understanding how to cultivate these elements, individual can build stronger willpower, which I need, and achieve their goals more effectively, which I also want to do. This week, I'll be looking at some things also related to whatever it is that kind of comes across me when I'm either reading the book, The Power of Self-Discipline, or just perusing on the internet, learning more about discipline and what tools I need in order to better master those things. Implement discipline in all areas of my life is my last goal for the month of May. And my focus last week was on how to implement discipline in my mind. So I did 3 different categories. And for each of those categories, I stated and shared how I actually implemented it in that area. So mentally, during the work week, I have prioritized self-care by taking my 2 walk breaks during work each day, which helped me to relax and rejuvenate. I've noticed if I were to self-reflect that over time, during the time that I kind of slacked off from the gym, I got myself more involved in my work, and I have a sit down job. And so that means that I'm going to be sitting down for long periods of time. And so it's very important for me to get up and take breaks. I'm sitting at a computer. My work is on a computer. It's nice to step away and take a break for the sake of my eyes, for the sake of my legs, my body. Just to get up and stretch for a little moment is very beneficial. And then also the work that I do requires a lot of thinking, and it helps me a lot taking those walk breaks during the day to kind of step away from it, take a break from it, and then somehow when I have my walks, it actually helps me with clearing out my mind, and then I can actually find the best way to solve whatever problem I was working on. But if I'm so focused, tunnel vision on that problem, I could waste away a lot of time because I'm just forcing myself to try to solve this problem in that very moment without even giving myself a moment to regroup, take a break, come back to it. And sometimes that's very helpful for me. So I'm just proud that I was able to do that because that helped me mentally and also within my career. I reflected on gratitude for what I have overcome in my past and where I am in my present. I've experienced a lot of things. I've experienced some great loss in the year of 2021, which has really helped me become more grateful and kind of looking at life. I'm able to kind of step away from whatever situation in the moment might be upsetting, might cause me anxiety, or might make me upset to where I'm really not easily upset because I'm able to pull myself back and find that gratitude that I can use to combat whatever feeling that I'm feeling in the present moment. And so just realizing the loss and just going through those moments in 2021, it actually has made me more grateful and being able to reflect back on where I was, where I am now, and just appreciate the growth, whether it is what I expected or not. I still am appreciative of it because it could have been different. And then also on Mondays through Fridays, I have maintained my gym routine in the morning. I have done great about getting up out of the bed and going to the gym. Have not missed a day yet. And I have my Fitbit watch that I use when I go to the gym, and I've been doing pretty good. I have it in my daily schedule where I'm supposed to be at the gym from 5 to 7. Now, I'm going to be honest, some days I don't make it directly there at 5, but that's the goal and that's the window of time. That kind of goes back to the PowerPoints or the video that I shared some time ago about behaviors, routine, and habits. Giving yourself that grace period, not being so stuck, or even like I think it was talked about in plan your day. When you're planning your day, give yourself a window of time to do something. So just in case you fall behind, you're not messing up your whole day just because I was late or I didn't make it there. So I have a good window of time, 2 hours to work out. And then even after I drop my son off from school, I still have time from the time that I drop him off to the time I have to clock in. I don't have to clock in until 8:30 each day, and he gets dropped off at school at 7:15, and we don't stay that far from the school, so I still have a good hour to put in even more work now that I'm up. So that has helped me out a lot. And then limiting social media and turning off notifications on my phone has helped me with having a better control on when and what I choose to enter my ear gate. So I'm proud that I was able to notice the importance of that. In my career, at work, I use a work log and priority list to help with monitoring my progress on assigned tasks. It helps me with managing my time effectively. I know what I have on my list. I know I keep great notes on where I ended up. So if I am to pick it up tomorrow, I can go back through my notes. Or if it's something that I need to remember from a previous time that I did, like from years ago, I can go through my notes and easily filter through. And I like having this for myself, even though there are tools on my job that we can use. I still put it in on that tool, but I like having my separate one so I can organize it however way I choose to. And I actually have it in an Excel sheet, and I have it to where I can see a visual chart of my trend and everything. So I just like using that, and it has helped me being more disciplined with my workload. And finances for last week, I budgeted for Mother's Day weekend, which was a plus, and it really didn't take me long. I just kind of went through all the different things that I expected. I actually used one of these sticky notes here, actually, a few of them. I just went down the list of, okay, this is how much money I have in my balance in my account. These are the things I went through and try to make sure there were no bills due, no major bills due. So I could make sure that those are taken care of first. And then I went through in my mind of all the different things that I would have to um, pay for the Mother's Day weekend. So, and then yesterday I actually shared with you the budget that I came up with. And today I'm going to share with you how I actually did on the budget. So, based off of what I budgeted for and what I actually spent, that's what I'm going to share with you today. And then also, I refrained from going out to eat. I didn't pay for anything out to eat for my son or myself for this week, for this past week. So I am so happy about that. And I really want to in the future to kind of go back and track my spending on the months when I actually was ordering out and stuff, and just kind of get in my mind, this is how much money I actually spent ordering food when I could have very well made it at home for this price and saved a whole lot of money. And that money could have went towards my budget. It could have went towards paying off some other bills. It could have went towards saving. It could have went towards, there's a lot of different things that we can choose to do with our money. And I'm sure, um, granted that I'm more disciplined with my time, I'm able to cook. I have set aside time to cook to where I wouldn't even have to order out. So that's something that I do want to work on in the future. And then for the following week, for this week, I'll be focusing on how to implement discipline in my body in regards to physical, recreation, and organization. And then the following weeks, I'll look at the heart, how to implement it in my heart, and then in my soul. So let's look at my budget. So this was the budget that I came up with for Mother's Day weekend. I planned to get my mom a massage, which was $120. Planned on going out to eat, which I budgeted $100 for. Of course, I have to travel, so I have to pay for gas. So I budgeted $100 more dollars, which was a total of $320. Well, let's see what I actually spent. So actually, I had to add on another row for going to the grocery store because, and I didn't budget for that, but I actually went to the grocery store and bought a few items. So let's just see how I did on my budget. So the massage cost 120. I actually paid 144. I didn't consider the tip. I actually gave a $24 tip. And so that put me over on my budget because I didn't consider paying a tip, which I should have. That's a fault on the fact of not considering that when budgeting for services like this. You want to give a tip, and so I did that. Restaurant, I actually paid $98.72. This is where I really was hoping to save money from, but I wind up paying for everyone. That included me, my son, my niece, my nephew, and my mom. So 5 people. So I pretty much did real good considering that I paid 5 people way into the restaurant. So that's about $20 per person, just about. And so I was still under budget by $1.28. And then gas, it cost me $85.18 to fill up because I had to fill up to go there and I had to fill back up to come back. And so that put me under $14.82. Grocery store, I didn't plan to buy anything, but when I was there and waiting for my mom and her massage, I took my son, my niece, and my nephew to Walmart. My niece and nephew, they had their own funds to pay for things, and I actually bought some things. And then later on that day, we actually went grocery shopping, and I actually paid for two watermelons and some drinks for myself. So that totaled up to be $56.31. And I didn't budget for that at all. So that put me in the negative. So for my whole Mother's Day weekend, I budgeted for $320 and I actually spent $384.21, which put me $64.21 over budget. Even though I went over budget, I'm glad that I actually took the time to budget, because even when I went over budget, it made me more aware and more proactive towards the money that I'm spending. Because in the past, I would spend, there's no telling. I'm gonna go back and do like a just kind of go back into time. Probably do like spring break to show you how much I spent on spring break. And even though I didn't really quite budget like I did here, probably if I would have budgeted, I probably would have found somewhere to save money. And so I need to do better with budgeting when it comes to these trips and things that take me away from home. Just in case I might have to spend some money, I need to always budget for the just in case. So that is the end of my May 2025 goals. I have made great progress on all of these so far. On goal number one, I have made progress. Out of the 10 days, I've made progress 8 out of 10 days on goal number two. I made my first payment, the first out of 4 payments, or 3 payments, because I bumped it down to 3 just so I don't have to pay interest. I'm doing very well with losing weight. I have continued making nutritional decisions that benefit me, as well as going to the gym. Goal number 4 is one that I need a little bit more assistance with, by making that a part of my daily routine work schedule. 30 minutes of the last 30 minutes of my work schedule, to allot some time to go through these. And then goal number 5, all the days I have been reading and studying. And then goal number 6, that'll be 6 out of 6 days that I have worked on that. So I have gone over my goals, shared with you my weigh-in, and I have also share with you about my budgeting for the weekend for Mother's Day. And so I am just proud of myself, and I hope what I'm sharing is helping someone. I know it's helping me. It's holding me accountable to make sure that I'm tracking this, because months from now, I want to look back on this video and say, wow, look how far I have come. I'm now able to do this now because I started studying self-discipline back in May. And by the end of this year, who knows where I would be and what things I would be doing. But if you are here and you are interested in continuing on this journey with me, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a nice day.